Your morality is smaller than you think. Most people believe they are good, not just good to their family or their friends, but good in a broader sense. They care about fairness, about suffering, about humanity as a whole. They support causes. They have opinions about global issues. They see themselves as part of something bigger. But if you look closely, that picture starts to fall apart, because in reality, almost all of your emotional energy is concentrated in a very small circle: your family, your close friends, maybe a few colleagues. Beyond that, something changes. The intensity drops off sharply. You still understand that other people matter, but you don't feel it in the same way. It becomes abstract, distant, almost theoretical. If a stranger on the other side of the world suffers, you might register it for a moment. You might even say that it's terrible, but it doesn't stay with you. It doesn't shape your behavior in any meaningful way. Now compare that to something happening inside your inner circle. If your child is hurt, everything else disappears. If your partner is in danger, nothing else matters. Your attention collapses inward, completely. This difference is not a flaw in your character. It's not a moral failure. It's how you are built. If you look at other social animals, especially primates, you see exactly the same pattern. They form tight groups. They groom each other, protect each other, cooperate within the group, and they are often indifferent or even hostile to those outside it. Their world is small, but within that world, their social behavior is sophisticated and highly developed. Humans are not fundamentally different in this respect. We also evolved to function in small groups. For most of our history, your survival depended on a limited number of people, your tribe, your immediate network. These were the individuals you needed to trust, to support, and to defend. Your brain is still calibrated for that environment. There's even a rough limit to how many meaningful social relationships you can maintain. Around 100 to 150 people. Beyond that, connections become weaker, less stable, less emotionally significant. So when you say you care about humanity, what does that actually mean? Because you cannot feel 8 billion people, you cannot emotionally process that scale. At best, you can understand it intellectually, and this is where something unusual happens. Humans developed the ability to think in abstractions. We can imagine groups that we will never meet. We can create concepts like society, nation, or humanity. We can construct moral systems that apply to strangers. This is not something most animals can do. A chimpanzee does not care about chimpanzees on the other side of the planet. It has no concept of them. But you do. You can care about people you will never meet, in places you will never visit, affected by events you will never experience. At least, you can say that you do. But there is a gap here, a gap between what you believe and how you actually behave. Because your actions are still driven by the same old structure, local, immediate, personal. You might care about climate change, but you still prioritize convenience. You might care about poverty, but you don't radically change your lifestyle. You might believe in equality, but your decisions still favor your own circle. This is not hypocrisy in the simple sense. It's a mismatch. Your biology operates on a small scale. Your ideas operate on a global scale. And those two systems don't align very well. So what happens instead is that your global morality often becomes symbolic. You express concern. You adopt certain views. You identify with causes. But the underlying behavior remains largely unchanged. And even these higher ideals are not necessarily free from self-interest. Caring about global issues can reinforce your identity. It signals something about who you are. It places you within a certain social group. It gives you a sense of meaning and coherence. In other words, even your most abstract moral positions can still serve you. This is the uncomfortable part. We like to believe that when we think about humanity, we are operating on a completely different level, that we have somehow transcended our biological limitations. But in reality, we are still anchored to them. We are animals with a very small emotional radius, trying to navigate a very large conceptual world. And the tension between those two things defines a lot of modern life. We live in global systems that require cooperation at a massive scale. Climate, economics, healthcare, technology. All of these depend on people acting beyond their immediate self-interest, but the individuals inside those systems are still wired for something much smaller. So the question is not whether humans are selfish. That's already established. The real question is whether we can build structures that compensate for it, because relying on individual moral expansion is unreliable. Most people will not consistently act against their own immediate interests for the sake of distant strangers. But systems can, laws can, institutions can, incentives can. They can align local behaviour with global outcomes. And that may be the only realistic way forward, not by expecting people to suddenly care about everyone equally, but by accepting that they won't. Your morality is smaller than you think. The challenge is not to deny that. The challenge is to work with it,